How's it feel to get that first practice under your belt with that jersey on?
Yeah, it felt good just to be back in the team setting, putting them helmet and them cleats on and just get moving with the guys. So, I mean, I felt really good today and felt like overall it was a good day for everybody.
I know you heard Cooper talking about you, but what's it been like from your perspective, getting to know him a little bit?
I mean, it's been good. We've been working on our relationship since the day we both came in here. Went to the Sixers game last night, kind of hung out together, and we just creating that bond. I mean, he's a great dude, great teammate, and a great player.
What did you know about him before? What did you know about him before the draft?
Yeah, I knew he was a baller. I mean, I watched his film at Iowa, how versatile he was and stuff like that. Great dude, hard worker. Seen him at the combine and stuff like that. So, I mean, I know him kind of well.
Are you really gonna?
Your first piece of a really sporting event with fans last night.
Yeah, it was crazy. Great atmosphere, great fans. It was great energy in that building last night, so I had a great time.
You saw the FaceTime with the Eagles. How serious are you about living with Slay?
I mean, if he want me to move in, I'll move in and stuff like that. So he just gotta let me know.
Keep a lot of things the same. Did you drive your Honda Accord up here? Or?
Yeah. I actually drove here on Sunday, like a 7-hour drive. So yeah, it was pretty nice. No, it was nice. Nice mountains and stuff like that. It was just clearing my head and getting ready for training camp.
There are two receivers who came into your draft class with you, Johnny Wilson and Ainias Smith. What are your impressions of them? I imagine you'll be lining up against them, as things go along here.
Yeah, great receivers, great dudes. Trying to create a relationship with them too, and we're gonna compete and we're gonna battle over these next couple of days and then lean up into the season. So I mean, I expect it to be good.
How do you find to strike the balance between, soft-spoken and intense energy? How do you find that across your time experience?
I mean, yeah, just when I step on the field, I mean, it's lights on, it's time to go and stuff like that. But when I'm outside, just talking to people and just creating relationships and stuff like that. So just growing more.
Any time since we spoke to you post-draft in the press conference, how much have you spoken to Slay?
We talked a little bit. He locked me in and stuff like that. I know in the next couple weeks he'll be getting in the building, so we'll start creating a relationship too more. So yeah.
What are your first impressions of Vic Fangio and Vic and his defense, your first impressions?
Yeah, so it's kind of like the same defense we ran in Toledo a little bit and stuff like that. And great dudes, great coaches. They corrected me and get me right for the season. So, I mean, I feel great about them.
While you were clearing your head on the drive, would you kind of give yourself time to think about?
Just get mentally prepared, just to come in and get ready to work and stuff like that. I know over the last couple months it's been crazy and stuff like that. So, really just locking in into football.
Do you see the chance to learn from someone like Slay as like a big advantage to you as far as starting your career, as opposed to maybe like going somewhere else where there wasn't somebody like him?
Oh yeah, I feel like all the vets. I mean, Slay, Bradbury, Johnson, just all those guys, just picking their brains and stuff like that. I mean, we got a veteran room, so I'm sure me and Coop gonna be asking them questions and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a great opportunity.
How do you study technique versus how do you approach technique versus certain receivers and preparing in that way?
Yeah, I say so now. Just perfecting the technique they want me to play in the defense. So I feel like that's the main object right now. Just getting that down and getting the playbook down and doing what they tell me to do.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, why number 30? Any meaning?
They just gave me this number, so I'm rocking it right now. So I'm making it look good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to play.
How does it feel to get that first practice underway now?
Felt great. It's been a while since I've been on the football field playing football, so it was good to be back out there. Kind of get the feel for things, get to move around a little bit again. So it was a good day.
You mentioned it a few times now that you're just so eager to play again. What's this period been like where you've kind of not been able to be on a football field?
Long. Seems like it's been long, yeah. Just especially after the injury, then having to go through rehab and the whole pre-draft process, where you're not really working football. You're not out there playing with 10 other guys on the field. So it's good to get back out there, play some team football against an offense, get that look, kind of just get the feel for things again.
The team put out a video of them trying to get up in the draft to take you, and saw that Laurie said that they were obsessed with trying to land you. What does that mean as a player when the organization's after you like that?
Yeah, that's really cool. To see that those guys, how bad they wanted to get me here. And like I said before, this is the place I wanted to be, you know, throughout the whole pre-draft process, especially after my visit here. You know, so to see that they wanted me here as well was really cool.
How do you approach cross-training between different positions in the secondary?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them run together. A lot of them are the same movements. You know, just different spots on the field. You know, so I mean, it's really just training for every position. You know, the different movements. You know, from inside to outside or safety, wherever it is. So just trying to stay ready. You know, for whatever position they put me in.
Where did they put you today?
I was working everywhere today, so just kind of moving around, getting the feel for things.
That video,
What was that experience like?
It was crazy. Those fans are wild. Obviously, they didn't get the win, but you know, it was a cool atmosphere. To get to see that, you know, firsthand, the Philly fans.
You mentioned you reached out to Quinyon after he got drafted. What has it been like getting to actually know him and getting to have that experience together last night?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great to get to know him, be around him, you know, work together. You know, I'm excited to continue to grow our relationship, you know, on the field and off. You know, he's great guy to be around. Great player too.
time for two more, and then we'll get Quinyon.
What was it about your pre-draft visit, Cooper, that made you want to?
Yeah, I think it's just the people in this building. You know, they made it feel like home almost. You know, just everybody's nice. Everybody's asking how you're doing, talking to you. You know, you kind of get a family type vibe. You know, when you walk in this building, and that's really cool.
The video comes talking about the Eagles thought the Rams were going to take you when they traded up. Did you have a lot of pre-draft interaction with LA? Did you maybe think that as well?
No, I didn't talk to them much pre-draft. You know, but I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad I'm here now. So.
I know you're really excited to get that playbook.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get it, and what have you thought about it so far?
Man, we just got it in. We went over first installs today, so I'm learning the playbook. I'm excited just to see how they're gonna use me, where I can be of use. So yeah, I got it. Like a week after, I'm good, ready to go.
How much do they throw at you this early in the process? Or is it a little overwhelming, or do you find it pretty easy to pick up?
In terms of the playbook, yeah, Coach is making it pretty simple for us. Coach Wash, he's really breaking it down, giving us the opportunity to learn it so that we can execute it at a high level. But in terms of everything, everything's new. So all of the faces, being up in front of a microphone, is new to me. But it's not overwhelming, more exciting. But yeah, in terms of the playbook, it's pretty simple so far, thanks to Coach.
The call you had with the Eagles has gotten a lot of attention. Is that a standard introduction for you?
Yeah, I would say yeah. It's how I normally talk. I was really excited at the moment. It's not how I handle business situations per se. Had a little slip up, but yeah, that's how I normally am. Player, big pimpin', and as I said, big guy, things of that nature. But yeah.
Sounds like your family was also really excited. What was
Ecstatic.
that like on the other end of the phone?
I didn't hear too much. I didn't hear too much of the call. It was funny actually watching the video that you mentioned because I didn't know they said any of that. But I answered the phone call, heard who it was. I told my family to head outside, and then from then on it was just noise and cheering, a little bit of crying, a little bit of tears. But yeah, my family was ecstatic about it.
What were your expectations of when you'd be drafted?
Whenever. I know it's the draft. I've heard stories, terrible stories, scary stories of people thinking they're going first day, then they drop to 5th round, things of that nature. So I really went into it just hoping to get an opportunity. And 94th pick, they gave me an opportunity.
It was reported that Fangio was a big fan of yours, a big proponent. What was did you know that kind of during the pre-draft process, and what kind of reaction do you have to that?
Not at all. I'm a big fan of his. A legend in the game, an OG, to say the least. So to know that your coach is a big fan of you is something that's obviously really cool, especially when it's somebody of his caliber. But then to know that, like, all right, you have somebody on your side when it comes to this whole process. Like, coach is a fan of me. He's willing to give me an opportunity. So now I just got to take it and work my butt off to get there to where I need to be so I can help out the team in whatever way possible. So,
What kind of transition do you think it would be to, playing against a much higher level of competition than you saw at college, both at, Cornell and Houston Christian? Do you think that would be a big adjustment for you?
Yeah, definitely. I just need the reps outside of just getting the opportunity to get the reps in day in and day out. I don't think it would be a huge transition, but I definitely have to train like a pro, get my moves up to pro level. My technique needs to improve a little bit. So, yeah, I think the biggest transition would just be being able to play and then play consistently at this high level.
Brandon Graham is a senior statesman, I guess, on his team, 15 years in the league.
Yeah.
How much do you know about him, and what kind of things are you looking forward to learning from Brandon Graham?
I'm ready to pick his brain, man. I haven't met him yet. Only heard his name. A couple people in that room that I'm just ready to ask questions until they tell me to shut up. So, yeah, from him, anything he's willing to teach me, I'm willing to learn. And then, to go 15 years in the league is no small feat. So even things outside of football, just how he carries himself as a person, and then what he does off the field to make sure that he's ready to play on the field for 15 years are things I would like to learn from him as well.
Because of
You mentioned even talking to a microphone in front of reporters is different in terms of size. What is the difference between your experiences at Cornell and Houston Christian and kind of the bigness of this moment, and how do you kind of appreciate it too?
Yeah, huge moment for anyone, honestly, in my opinion. But Cornell didn't get too much microphone time at all. Houston Christian, I did a couple of reports for different reporters for local news stations and things of that nature, and then, of course, obviously the Combine and the Senior Bowl were very eye-opening. At the Combine, you stand on the podium and people just walk up and ask questions, so that was wild. But now sitting in front of cameras and everybody here is something that's cemented in my brain. This is a crazy experience, and the first moment I've been able to experience something like this. So,
safety, they're probably not going to ask you to play through pass or anything like that. But does that help you with your ability to drop whenever you're asked to do that?
Definitely, you get to learn the game from a more open field point of view. So whenever I'm put into that position, I kind of revert back to the skills I've gained over the years by playing on that back end.
you talk about having a growth
As
spurt.
part of this aside, what perspective do you have about being in the NFL? It's kind of unique to you and your path that maybe someone who went to Power 5 school might not appreciate?
Everything. What was it? Equipment managers. Didn't have a full-time equipment manager. So the most unique thing about me and a lot of small school guys is just the resources. Being able to get things and have access to things that you weren't able to have access to unless you went out and did them on your own. For one, it saves me a lot of hassle. Everything's right under this roof, and if I have any questions, I can go ask somebody. But a lot of the guessing is taken out of it as well. Because before this, I just been doing things that I have seen pros do or think a pro would do, but now I can just ask the question. So I think that's kind of a unique point of view.
You talk about your growth spurt. When that's happening, what's going through your mind? Is you're just growing like crazy and going from a safety to an edge, and what's going through your mind for all that?
Dang, I gotta buy clothes. That's about it. I never really knew I would end up where I was gonna end up or gain that much weight. So it was really just, it went from, all right, let's get a little bigger so I don't get thrown around when I come down to the box from playing safety to, all right, maybe I'm getting too big. I'm going to have to move back to linebacker, and then getting moved down to the defensive end. I was like, all right, now I just need to learn the position. So it wasn't anything that was terrifying to go through or nerve-wracking, anything like that. If anything, it was just exciting.
In that sort of same vein, physically have you thought about, now that you're an edge rusher, where you want to go, or are you happy with where you are from that?
Weight-wise, anywhere I need to be. If the coaches say they think I might perform better at a higher weight, I'll gain weight. I'll do what I need to do to gain weight. If they think I can perform well at this weight, I'll stay here. But up or down, left or right, I don't mind. I'll do whatever it takes. Help the team out, be good.
What's it like being out there with that jersey on for the first time, getting involved?
Yeah, I don't think I've stopped smiling since yesterday at noon when I got here, and to go out and be on the field for the first time, it's I keep saying it, but it's just dreams coming true for me. So I'm very blessed to be here. Gonna continue to go out there, show myself. Love Coach Singleton. I've gotten a lot of time with him. Kendall's a great guy to be sharing this time with too. So yeah, it's a great start.
What's it like looking at a playbook for the first time? Are you a visual learner, or what kind of learner are you?
Yeah, I think it goes back to, having 3 different offensive coordinators over my 3 years at Clemson. Something that I'm really used to is getting a playbook and having to learn it quick. Be ready to go out to the field and, whether it's a walkthrough or the real life stuff is just being ready to go. So Coach Singleton has, like I said, done a great job already of teaching us, getting us ready to go, and just looking forward to it. Only good things, man. He's he spent 5 years here now, not including COVID, but he's absolutely loved it here. And his time's coming to an end. He's graduating here in May. Got the Ivy League tournament this weekend, so actually tonight. So pumped for him, first round. But yeah, he loves Philly. I've gotten a chance to come here probably 15, 20 times, catch his games, just come and visit him, and I've got nothing but love for the city, and to finally be here. I think it kind of hit me last night when I sat down in my hotel room. I'm like, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm staying, and I couldn't be more happy. Yes, 100% I will be. They got a big one against Cornell, so got to go out there and show what they're all about.
The call we had with you after the draft was before Trotter's draft. Your memories and experience playing with Jeremiah, how would you describe it?
Oh, it's iron sharpens iron. That's exactly what it is. When we came in, we both knew what we wanted to do as freshmen at Clemson. That's get on the field, play, compete for a national championship, and just go be our best. And with that, him being a linebacker, me being a running back, we butted heads a lot. We got after it in practice, and we just always competed. So to have him here is one, it's great to have a friend, someone I'm familiar with, but also someone I know that's going to push me every single day, and somebody that's just going to make me better, and I'm going to do the same for him. At practice, yeah, just competing, man. You know how it is out there on the field, getting after it. Whether it's live stuff, running back versus linebacker drills, just always making sure that one another is going to push the other one to get better.
How much will that help you, just having him to kind of lean on throughout this process?
Yeah, it'll be great. We got a chance to talk this morning and yesterday. He's really familiar with the area, only lives about 30 minutes away. So to be able to have someone like that with the knowledge, not only that, but, who's so familiar with me and a great friend of mine gives me a lot of just familiarity and makes me more comfortable for sure.
Were you and your brother really competitive growing up? What's that dynamic like?
Oh yeah, we got after it. Probably until we both parted our ways for college is when we really got close, really close. And throughout our years, especially when I was young, he's 2 years older than me, so I'd hang out with him and all his friends. We'd always be playing sports, and we would get after it. We always got in trouble, more so me. When I would lose, I'd be getting after him. So yeah, we were very competitive, and I'm so thankful for him now. Not only has he paved the way for me to get here and helping me out, but just everything I've done. He's been a trailblazer for me, and just a complete role model, someone I look up to and love him to death. So I'm glad we've been able to put the competitive edge behind us and get a lot closer here. These past couple years.
A couple more for Will.
Some pretty intense FIFA games.
Oh, a ton. That's crazy you would know the FIFA, but yeah, we got after it. We didn't play many video games, but if we did, FIFA was definitely our choice.
How did you learn how to channel that intensity, some of that anger?
Yeah, just through my experiences throughout the years, and just learning from my mistakes as anybody else would. You know, I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like I'm a saint, but anytime I do something wrong, I learn from it, and I do my best to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So, you know, anytime I have a learning opportunity, I make sure to take advantage of it.
A lot of your film shows you kind of being very patient, waiting for the hole to be blocked. Is that instinctively hard for you to do, or is that easy?
Yeah, patience is definitely something that I'm continuing to work on in my game. You know, having Coach Spiller back at Clemson was a huge thing because it's something that he really needed to emphasize in his game as well. So he helped me out a ton with it. Something I'm continuing to work on, and something I just have to continue to remind myself of because I'm adherently very my adrenaline gets going and things start moving fast, and I like to move fast with them, but to be able to slow down, especially at the running back position, allows those boys up front to get their hands on them and the holes to open up. So,
all right, last one. You've got a lot of all-around qualities. I think you got a chance to beat Christian Chapter once. Like what is that? Someone that you spend a lot of what you learned from others? What have you kind of attributed as you stepped into the NFL?
Yeah, with Christian, I've been a huge fan of him ever since he was at Stanford. I watched him then, and then he got drafted to the Panthers, which made me an even bigger fan, being a big fan of the Panthers. So, yeah, I've watched him for years. He was able to get in touch with him when I was in high school, and he's kind of mentored me. We talk every once in a while. He hit me up after the draft and said congratulations and everything. So someone I definitely look up to off the field and on the field. He's one of the best to do it. So any piece of his game that I really like, I think I can incorporate into mine. I definitely do, while still just being Will Shipley and doing my own thing.
All right. When you were dealing with that that kind of stress fracture, how would you handle that, like learning about that and going forward? How do you feel right now?
Man, honestly, so I kind of already had an experience with my right ankle. Kind of put me out through the season, my senior year, 2022. So right now I'm just taking the same process, really adding a little bit more, I guess you could say, detail to my work and whatnot, especially now that I'm in a professional setting and whatnot. But, yeah, man, I'm just excited to be here, really just eager to work. So they've been trying to take me slow, you know what I'm saying, not trying to rush me back or anything like that. But right now, honestly, I feel pretty smooth. Recovery's been going very well. So I'm just excited, man, ready to get out there.
Decided to return for that final year of anger, and then the injury there and some setbacks. Experiencing that, and it's not exactly what you expected, and you could have not stayed for another. What did that year teach you?
Man, you saying the year that I came back? Yes, man. It taught me a lot. One, definitely I learned how to be a better leader, for sure, on and off the field. Learn how to move a certain way when it came to just being a professional about a lot of things, knowing how to take care of your body, making sure that all the little things that you do outside of the field do affect your on-field play. And, man, really just learning how to be a better teammate, especially when it came to trying to get guys inside the training room, getting them to understand that your body is what's going to carry you through. So making sure that guys were being very, I guess you could say, more intent or giving more intent into taking care of the bodies for sure.
Have you studied the new kickoff rules at all? And what do you think is going to be key for people who are successful?
Yeah, man. I did a little bit of studying for sure, and I also took my time to go ahead and go back and watch film on the XFL and how they used to do things and whatnot. Man, really, honestly, it's just all about the setup. I feel like when it comes to returns like that, it's not going to be a full speed. They're going to be running full speed, but they're not going to have as much field to cover as they used to. So I'll say it's really just all about the setup, about how you set up your blocks, set up your return and whatnot, and man, just taking it to the crib.
You had a lot of production in college with the ball in your hands. You had a background in running back, correct? And how did that go from that position to wide receiver over your career?
For sure. So originally I got to A&M playing receiver. So that was my whole thing. Going into, I guess you could say, the running back room was a little bit different, just learning the different protections, learning different run plays, who's going to be blocking who and whatnot. But honestly, me having the ball in my hand, I've been doing that since I was a little kid. And then once I had got to the collegiate level, playing running back was a little different steps and all of that. But once I had learned basically to read my blocks, learning how to understand basically things are going to happen, and when things don't happen the way that you want them to, then, you know, I have a counter against it. But then at the same time, once I had went back to the receiving room, it became natural, like little bubble routes, open field space, things like that. Just having the ball in my hand, it was just natural.
So the time the running back room helped you as a receiver?
Yes, for sure.
Could you tell that like immediately?
I wouldn't necessarily say immediately, because then I had to go back to running routes, doing releases and things like that. But once I got the ball in my hand, yes, you can tell that it helped for sure.
Learning, teaching other players to take care of their body. Have you got a chance to meet with the training staff here? I mean, has there been any players that have kind of told you about how to do that in the NFL?
Yeah, man, I definitely got in with the training room. Matter of fact, after this, I have I guess you could say a slight little workout that I'm about to go do in the pool and get right. But then, yeah, I've been talking to a few guys. I mean, everybody's not here at the moment, so I've been just having a little small talk. But I did have a time, or today, matter of fact, I did have some time today to go speak with Jakeem Grant, and he was telling me about, I had asked him, I was like, well, you've been playing for so long, like, what helped you to get through, you know what I'm saying, like through those seasons. He was just telling me about how, like, any little thing that you feel, go ahead and get on it right away, and then just carry that on throughout the season, because you're not going to be 100% every single game. Matter of fact, probably never. So he was like, just making sure that you do any type of tweaks, little rollouts with the roller, or like Graston, anything for real.
We have time for two more.
When your dad used to play as well too, and he's also your trainer, saw you trainer as well too. Is there any advice that he's given you that you think is that's really stuck out with this whole entire process, through the draft process and through here at the practices?
Man, my dad has given me a lot of advice for sure. But one thing that he's been telling me is you don't want to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, when that time comes for them cuts to happen, you don't want the bookmaster to go ahead and come tap you on your shoulder and be like, hey, coach want to meet with you. You know what I'm saying? So really just trying to limit the mistakes, make sure I'm on that playbook every single day, getting into that, gaining trust from, you know, the coaches, the quarterbacks, and stuff like that. But really just being a professional about everything for sure.
Last one. With like Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, but how do you approach that? I mean, are you looking forward to learning from, two very good receivers to start your career?
Of course, man. Of course. I mean, I have a great room, a great group of guys that I'm gonna be surrounded by. So I'm definitely excited to just go to work with them, learn a lot from the game and from those guys, and really just being able to watch them play, practice, doing all of those things, and just learning how to play at the level that they play at for sure.
How excited were you to get number 54?
I was very excited. I've been wearing it my whole life, and also, wore it because my dad wore it when he was playing here, and I was very happy, that was available, and they decided to give me that number. So, going to, wear it with pride and, just be the best player I can.
How did that process go? Did they just hand it to you, or did you, like?
They kind of, they didn't necessarily ask. They kind of assumed what number I was going to ask first, so they kind of put it on hold, kind of. And then I came in, when they were asking for numbers and everything. I asked if I could get 5'4", and they're like, yeah, you can get it definitely. So it worked out pretty well.
We saw the call that Trevor Keegan had with you. What was your reaction on the other side of the phone, kind of hearing that and the memories that he has with you and your family?
No, it was emotional as well, because I know the memories he had with, my mother and my dad and just the family in general, me coming around when I was a kid. So, hearing him get emotional was definitely emotional for me too, because we both were, thinking about her and like the memory of her during the moment. But, you know, it really just showed the type of connection he had with my family during that, when she was here, and just coming around, just like the relationship that they have.
You have a long history, obviously, with the organization, so probably a little bit more comfortable here than if you had to go anywhere else. But even adding Will Shipley in to have that teammate from college, how much more helpful is that?
Yeah, no, it's always helpful when you're going into a new stage of your life or the next stage on your journey. If you have people around you that you're comfortable with, or even if it's just in an area that you're comfortable with, that helps you, you know, just be free, you know, just be more comfortable in your environment, and, you know, just feel like you're at home. So I feel like God really blessed me to have the opportunity to play here, and it worked out very well. So I can just stay home. I know the area. I know the team. I pretty much knew the facility, where everything was at. So it worked out really well, and I just thank God.
Will said you had some battles. Will said you had some battles in college. What do you remember about those battles? And there's one specific one you remember. Was there any trash talking?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we had our battles, and you know, making each other better. You know, so at Clemson, one of the sayings that we say is like iron sharpens iron. So we always going back and forth, trying to make each other better. You know, whether it's, you know, one-on-ones and what we call skills and drills, doing one-on-ones against each other. You know, if he beats me on a rep, he'll give me, be like, hey, if you do this next time, that'll help you. If I get him on a rep, I'll be like, hey, maybe you should have did this. Just, you know, trying to, you know, share ideas back and forth and trying to make each other better.
Before the pre-draft process, how long had it been since you've been in this facility?
Before it had been a little bit, just because, you know, yeah, you're in the area and you like watch the game, support the team and everything, but you're always busy and whatnot. But it had been a little bit, but, you know, once I got back in the facility, I still remember where everything was. I, you know, recognized people and everything. So.
What's it been like going from that emotional weekend to it's business, and putting the emotions aside, if that's how you've treated it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like you got to treat it kind of like a game. You know, you have a big win on Saturday, maybe it's an overtime win. You celebrate that night after, maybe another day, an extra day, and then you're back grinding and getting ready for the next opponent. So that's how I feel like I try to treat it, and have that mindset, celebrate it, you know, thank God, celebrate with my family, thank the coaches and this organization, and then, you know, after that celebration period, I was back grinding, make sure I lock in on what I have to do to make sure I come in and just contribute to the team any way I can.
It seems pretty obvious that fans are really pulling for you. Have you felt that support already?
I definitely felt the support, and I really thank them. You know, Eagles fans, they're diehard, and they'll love you, you know, through thick and thin, and I just really appreciate the support. Honestly, I'm just focused on what I can control, and that's just me coming in, trying to be the best player I can, learning the defense, make sure I know what I'm doing, and also just being a good teammate. And I'm just looking to help the team any way I can, you know, and whatever role I'm put in, that's the role I'm going to put 100% effort in.
What's the biggest memory that you have from being a kid related to, you know, this organization and your dad playing here? Like, what pops up first?
I'd probably say, you know, walking on the field in minicamp sometimes. I remember, you know, my dad taking me and my sister, you know, just walking down the field with us, either carrying me or my sister walking beside us. So I do remember that. You know, after games sometimes, you know, walking out, people coming up to him for pictures and whatnot. So with me, since I was pretty young when he was playing, I remember just glimpses, certain things like that.
A couple more, we'll get McMahon in next. You played in a pretty aggressive scheme at Clemson. Vic's scheme isn't super aggressive. How do you feel like you're going to make that adjustment to playing, you know, back a little bit?
I definitely feel like I can make the adjustment. I feel like I have the tools to really adjust and play in a lot of different schemes. And, you know, with Vic's scheme, I feel very comfortable in it. I'm just learning, you know, right now still, and still got a lot of room to grow. But I feel very comfortable in like with the ability I have to adjust to it.
You don't have to pay rent. Is your plan to live at home, or is your plan to live closer to here?
Yeah, I'll probably just live at home, not too far from the facility, and to save money. So.
What are your first impressions of Vic? He's been doing it for a long time. Does that sort of experience come through? Yeah,
you know, just from, you know, meeting him and then also learning more about the defense, I definitely feel like he's a coach that's done it at a high level and continues to do it. He's a very smart defensive mind, and I'm just like very looking forward to just learning from him, learning the defense, you know, picking his brain, asking questions, and just trying to better myself as a defensive player as well.
What's the experience been like so far?
I've enjoyed every second of it. It's been, it still doesn't feel real. I looked at Dylan yesterday at the team meeting, and I was like, does it feel like we're like even here right now? Like it felt like a dream. And then yesterday at the hotel, once I got out of the elevator, I looked and I just saw Lincoln Financial lit up, and I just got goosebumps. The hair on my skin stood up. So, I'm enjoying every second, and getting close with these guys. It's an opportunity that I'll be eternally grateful for.
What are your first impressions of Stout in this building around?
He's awesome. Right off the bat, the energy and passion he has, and the love for his players. He's gonna get on you, but he's gonna love you harder. I've seen that already, but I'm so excited, and the guys that he's developed, and I'm just excited to get to work with them.
You speak to us about you. Howard Roseman kept using the word mentality. How would you describe your mentality on the field?
I feel like I just always been a tone setter. Growing up, my dad, coming from Chicago, my dad loved the '85 Bears, and that's all he talked about. Wilmer Marshall, Mike Singletary. He just always said, whatever happens, you're going to be the hardest hitter on the team. And then that mentality just kind of stuck with me. But I like setting the tone of the game. I like establishing the line of scrimmage. And I just play hard. I love the game of football. I play with heart, and I'm going to continue to do that.
It's been like getting to know Dylan early in this process and getting to go through this with another offensive man.
Yeah, most definitely. Training with him, I can just see how hard of a work he is and how much he loves football as well. So, as well as Gotti, he was down there at Exos with us. Jalyx was as well. So, seeing some familiar faces is pretty cool, and we're on this journey together. So we're going to help each other out. We're just excited to get to work.
How would you describe kind of what they throw at you? Is it a lot in your mind? Is the tempo different than what you're used to?
It's very similar. It's just different terminology. That's just the thing, is just translating to my old playbook in Michigan. But yeah, it's just basic stuff. It's just learning the different terms, and every coach has different terms and language that they use for specific blocks and things like that. So just getting the hang of that. But for the most part, it's been pretty easy.
You spoke after the draft about your connection with Lane Johnson. Have you guys been in touch since then?
He reached out to me. I have the same agent as Lane, so my agent was super fired up about me coming here, and I'm just going to look up to him and try to emulate his game and try to see what he does inside and outside the building, and try to, especially with the rest of the guys. I'm just here to learn and be a sponge to the older guys. But
part of the college program as a former NFL head coach, moved back to the NFL. How much do you feel you were prepared through that sort of offense towards what you probably expect to in another kind of run-oriented system?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like Michigan is set apart from any other school in the country just because the way they develop you and the system that they run and the coaching that they have. Our scheme at Michigan is very similar to what it is here. Like I said, it's just different terminology, but establishing the line of scrimmage and making sure a run game to open up the pass game. I love that identity, and there's a lot of similarities and parallels, and I'm just excited, and I feel like I fit this scheme very well.
Explain how you
played left guard at Michigan. Have you ever played on the right side at other levels? And some guys struggle playing on both sides, some don't. Just curious what your comfort level would be there.
Yeah, I'm comfortable, anywhere in the interior three. I'm actually ambidextrous, so it's not that hard. But anywhere they put me, I'm gonna work my tail off to do the best I can. I have, yep.
Ambidextrous with everything?
No, not really. I can't hit a baseball lefty, but pretty much everything else.
Can you explain the collar that you wore in school? Why?
Just it's not like for looks. It's just stingers, just protect, because I like hitting people.
You wear here?
I might. We'll see.
I know you're probably like 7 years old when Brandon Graham got drafted here. He's a Michigan guy. What do you know about him? Followed him at all? Have you met him?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he actually came to our Rutgers game, I believe, 2 years ago. Got to meet him. Just how he is a person, how he leads. I've been able to follow him on Instagram, ever since my time in Michigan, just see what he does in the community, just how he is as a person. He's the same person every day, brings in the same energy.
He's a Michigan man, so I'm going to look up to him, you know, try to emulate whatever he does in the community, whatever he does outside the building, inside the building, you know, how he interacts with others. You know, I'm just going to try to learn from him and be a sponge as well.
We'll do a couple more. We have Johnny Wilson when the team went up there at the draft.
No, I was at my hometown in Chicago.
You did see the team that go up there, right?
I did, yes.
How you were captain, what was that experience like? And also as a rookie now, what's the kind of the difference in mentality in that kind of role?
Yeah, I think being a captain in Michigan, you know, was one of my biggest honors. And, you know, as a team, we faced a lot of adversity throughout the year, and, you know, you have to pick the right times to say the right things. You know, being a leader can be pretty easy until you get challenged. So finding the right times when to speak, how to, you know, rally a group together. And you just learn. You learn from others. I had Aiden Hutchinson, and, you know, Quiddy Pay. Those were guys who I looked up to as a freshman. Ben Bredesen, John Runyon, Michael Wayne, just guys like that I try to emulate. And at the end of the day, there were so many leaders on that team. Anybody could have been, you know, a captain. And it made, you know, our job very easy. But, you know, coming into this situation here in Philly, you know, I'm just going to be a sponge. I'm going to try to earn my place with the team, earn my place with the guys, and just work as hard as possible to earn their trust and their respect.
Johnny, we didn't get a chance to talk to you after you got drafted. What was your reaction, you know, getting the call, and, you know, where did you spend the draft?
I was back home in LA, spent it with my family, had a lot of my friends over, and, you know, I was just moving to, like, you know, new Airbnb, you know, trying to celebrate. And, like, right when I got into the house after I checked in, you know, I got the call, so I couldn't even set. I just dropped everything. And, you know, my family just started recording, and, you know, I didn't want to cry on the phone, so I try to wait till after. But it was a blessing. It was great, you know, great experience, too.
Such a, you know, big wide receiver. I mean, 6'6", 230 pounds or whatever. Like, how does that help you, and how do you think that'll help your transition to the NFL?
I mean, like, being this size, like, and being able to do some of the things, you know, I can do with my body, and, like, getting in and out of my breaks, and, you know, just having, you know, super long arms, you know, it's just, sometimes it's an advantage, especially, you know, to a lot of smaller corners and smaller defenders. So, you know, I've just, you know, over the years, just tried to do a lot of training and using, you know, my body to my advantage. So.
Because it is kind of. Are you 6'7" or 6'6"? You've been listed at both of us.
I guess I'm 6'6". Combine had me at 6'6". Senior Bowl had me at 6'6". So I'll be 6'6".
The other thing is that a lot of people want to make you a tight end. When you hear that, what goes through your mind?
I mean, I play receiver. I mean, a lot of people have their, you know, opinions on what I should be, but you know, I'm on this team. I'm playing for the Eagles, and you know, there's been no talk, you know, me being, you know, tight end. So
because there aren't many receivers at your size, has it been tough to try to, like, emulate your game after other players, or how do you go about that?
Not really. I mean, like, that's the crazy part. Kind of my whole life, you know, I've just been always like the taller guy, but I had a lot of dudes, you know, to, you know, try to model my game after, and it just took practice and repetition. Harold Carmichael, you know, he played here. I love seeing his highlights and his film play. Alshon Jeffrey was a dog here. Deshaun Jackson, you know, his separation at the second level was great. Other dudes in the league, Devontae Adams and Mike Evans, that's who I've, you know, tried to model my game after, you know, for the longest. So.
Harold, since you've been here?
I haven't met him yet, no.
When you look at this roster with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown on it, how do you approach kind of finding your role on a team of two very established receivers?
I mean, like, I just try to control what I can control right now. You know, just try to get the playbook down packed as quick as I can, and you know, just work my butt off. And you know, when my name is called, you know, it's my job to just go out there and do my job. So.
As a follow-up to that, you played with Keon Coleman, you played with Jermaine Burton in high school. How did that prepare you for NFL level teammates?
I mean, like, just my whole kind of since I've been in high school, you know, I've been playing with dudes that, you know, I've always had that talent. Playing with Jermaine, played with Micah Pittman, played with Darnay Holmes. He's in the league now too. So kind of just getting that, that real competition and talent, just from being, 15 years old all the way up to college, and then, having dudes like Quinyon on the side of you too. He's young, but that dude, he could play. So it's like, you see a dude out there make a play, makes you want to go make a play as well. So we just, complement each other, and that's kind of what I've been doing since high school.
You were at that Florida State as a team kind of going through mentality change too, and how do you feel like your learning process through that, being a part of that, prepares you to be a part of a team like this?
Can you repeat that question one more time?
It seemed like Florida State, whenever you got there, was going through a change in mentality, the way that they were approaching things. What did you learn through that experience that you think applies to how you are part of this team?
Yeah, I mean, like when I first got to Florida State, they didn't come off the best season, so it was very, low morale, energy was down, and but at the end of the day, everybody still worked their butt off. That was the crazy part. So coming in there, I just knew where I was starting from. I was starting from the bottom again. I had to build myself up. So it was just come in there, put your head down, work, and when your name's called, make the play. So that's kind of like the same mentality I just have coming in here. Just do all the little things right, work my butt off, and just try to be the best teammate I could be.
What's your favorite red zone route?
Fade.
What are your early thoughts?
Can I just follow one real quick? How'd you, obviously you got such a size advantage on guys on the corner on that fade. How would they try and stop you? What were some of the
If
tricks?
I drop it? If I drop it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
We'll
do a couple more.
On Aaron Moorhead, and he was a big receiver in this league, not as tall as you, but do you see that as a potential advantage that he can impart some knowledge to you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's, he played receiver as well. He was a great receiver when he played, and he's definitely tall too. So since, I've started building that relationship with him from when we first met, and I came on my 30 visit, and when he was at my pro day, he's always, been trying to give me those tips. You're a bigger guy, so, you can always use this to your advantage and stuff. So, having a guy that kind of has somewhat of the same build as me, he's definitely helped a lot, and especially with the playbook and getting acclimated. Around here he's very open, to helping all the young guys. He treats everyone the same, so I like that.
His call with you, Howard Rosen said he took a walk around the field with you. What was that walk like? What was the conversation?
We walked around the field, kind of talked about my personal life, my story, and what I was looking for, going into the league, and I just. It was kind of just between, me and him. So it was just like a personal conversation that we had, and we just walked around the field. I guess, he likes to walk around the field. So.
Jalen Hurts is
Last one, please.
quarterback now. Jalen Hurts is quarterback now. You know who Harold Carmichael is? I'm assuming you know Jalyx Hunt.
Yes, sir.
What do you know about him, and has he reached out to you after you've been drafted?
Yeah, after I got drafted, he reached out to me, that same day, and wanted to congratulate me, and pretty much AJ reached out to me too, and it's like the same thing. Everyone's just like, let's get to work. When you get here, it's work. So, I commend Jalen. He playing quarterback is hard, and he does it at a very high level. He's very good at his job. So, I'm excited to get out there. Get out there with him.
How you doing?
Good. Trevor was just talking. He said you and him kind of looked at each other in amazement that you're in this moment already. What's that been like? What's the most surreal thing so far?
I think just getting the call on that Saturday when I did, it was just kind of like, this is actually happening. I was just talking a second ago about how it still hasn't really sunk in. I don't know if it ever will, just how surreal it is and a dream come true, just being able to come in this building every day, and this is my job now. It's pretty amazing, and that's something that I'll never take for granted for sure.
Asked Trevor, I'll ask you, what's your first impressions of Stout in this building now that you've got sort of his feel and his...
Oh, he's awesome. He's got a ton of fire behind him, and I love that in an offensive line coach, and then just the knowledge he brings to the game. I've already learned so much, just the few Zoom calls and now in-person meetings I've had with him, just the amount of knowledge he's already brought out and made my game better just the first few days I've met with him.
And also still early along in terms of that, but how similar is this system you're in now compared to when you were back in NC State?
I would say there's similarities here and there. I was under a few different offensive coordinators, so I can pick apart a few different schemes from each person that I was with. So
I would say the pass game is pretty similar to what we did, and then the run game, there's pieces here and there.
Have you had a chance to meet Jason Kelsey yet?
I actually did, yeah, that was pretty crazy. I came in yesterday and I had to meet with Mr. Howie, and when I went into the weight room to meet him, Howie was in there working out, and Jason Kelsey was in there with him, and he introduced me to Kelsey right away, and that was a pretty crazy moment because, I mean, I've watched him since I was little playing football. He's the best center to ever do it, and just to meet him and have him around this building, to be able to pick his brain every once in a while would just be an amazing experience.
What did you talk about?
He looked at me, he was like, undersized center. We have that in common, and just talked a little bit about football and the guys I'll be facing regularly in our division, and then just said, like, just make sure you're staying in the weight room, you can put good weight on you with your frame of your body. There's places to put weight on and good weight in that muscle, and just wish me good luck. And it was like I said, it was pretty surreal meeting him, and he just said he hopes to be able to help me out in any ways he can, so that'd be pretty cool.
How encouraging is it to see, an offensive lineman, a center drafted later, considered undersized, to have that kind of success, that career?
Right. Oh, I would say extremely. I mean, he was in the same round as me, and just to see a center do that, it can be done. I mean, even any of the guys that get 6th, 7th undrafted, those guys that make it, there's plenty of those stories, and just to see those guys that do it, know that it's not impossible and you can easily do it as long as you just keep your head down and work hard and really buy into what Stout's doing here and buy into his coaching point and trust him. Then there's no floor, no ceiling that it's too high.
That offer from Kelsey, how often do you think you're going to take him up on it?
I don't want to bug him. I would do it every day if I could, but I mean, he's got his own stuff going around, and just he luckily gave me his number. So just if I ever have a question or anything, that I might just hit him up, and if he doesn't reply, because I know he's got a lot of stuff going on, then hopefully he will eventually. But as much as I can without bugging him, for sure.
It's not just the undersized aspect, but the athleticism.
Right.
Too. Is there anything specific that you kind of took away from this game before you moved?
Yeah, I would just say the leverage, because we both are. Like, I would say the size is a big comparison, and just the leverage he plays with the game, being an undersized guy, is what I have to take to my game as well. I tend to sometimes play a little high, and just being able to take that, like I said, leverage he uses and distribute it to my game, I think will be a huge bonus in my game.
Time for 2 more, guys.
You seem to, in the film, be able to kind of get to a spot very quickly and turn your body, for whatever lanes you're trying to create. How did you work at getting that, and does it come easy because you're on the smaller side?
I would say probably. I mean, honestly, smaller size, it helps to bend, but also I would say what helps me there is my mobility. I have great hip and ankle mobility, and just to continue to work on that and stretch that and work that daily is a big part of my game, just so I can bend and I can create those angles that bigger people probably can't.
Those reach blocks, Jeff was kind of talking about those. Do they come natural to you, or is that something that...
I would say I definitely had to work on it. I mean, but it helps with my athleticism. That's what I love to do. That's my favorite thing to do these days. But definitely you have to work on it to get to the point that you're at. It helped out that it came a little natural, but just putting in that time and being able to reach not just shade, but also like a 2-eye on a guard is a big help.